Welcome to A Better Chance for Youth television show with your host, Monique Robinson, where we highlight, celebrate, and recognize students from all over the country who are doing great things in the classroom, community, and athletics. Every student deserves an opportunity for hope and a future. So let's celebrate our students, the next generation of teachers, engineers, entrepreneurs, and future leaders. Join us on another incredible segment of A Better Chance for Youth show with your host, Monique Robinson.
Welcome. So look, we are at like day 5 or 6. I don't lost count. I've talked to so many amazing young people. Now, if you haven't been paying attention, for the last couple of weeks, we have been doing the Takesha A. Davis Scholarship, which is our family's pride and joy. We love this time of year because we get excited, or just as excited as our young people who are headed off to our nation's historically Black colleges and universities, better known as HBCUs. So today, I have about a couple of people backstage, and I don't know, if you have been following our platforms, I encourage you to at least watch the clips. But before we air the whole show, we will not air everybody's full interviews until the 23rd, because this is just the first phase. If you followed us last year, you know we do the intros, then we do the essays, and then we get to meet the parents. So stay tuned right after our first commercial break, because I want to get the big business, small business out the way. And then, we can concentrate on our scholars. Now, before the commercial break, I must say, if you live in the San Antonio, Texas area, or Bexar County, or in driving distance, we will be hosting our annual HBCU send-off, where we get to celebrate everyone in the area who is headed to an HBCU in the fall for the very first time. Now, even if you are an alum, even if you are a community supporter, we want you to come out to the Carver Branch Library, located on San Antonio's beautiful east side, and have fun with us. Party with a purpose. So after this commercial break, I will bring on my very first guest.
Are you interested in attending an historically Black college? Are you interested in attending an historically Black college or university? Hello, my name is Robert Mason. I'm president and founder of the Common Black College application. Our application allows students to apply to over 50 historically Black colleges and universities at the same time for only $20. HBCU graduates have been some of the most renowned individuals in their respective fields since the late 1800s. In addition to that, our faculty and staff are truly committed to your success, and they have a vested interest in seeing that you do well. That, coupled with the academic rigor and the fact that you will establish lifelong relationships, are just some of the many benefits of your attending an historically Black college or university. So if you're interested in completing the Common Black College app, visit our website at commonblackcollegeapp.com to apply now. Thank you, and get educated.
Awesome. My rising seniors, take advantage of that, HBCU Common App from our good friend. And it's also some scholarship links in there, but we'll talk about that next time. So let's welcome our first guest for today. Hey, friend, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I can't complain. It's a little hot in Texas, but, I'm in the air, so I'm good right now. Now, tell the audience your name, where you're from, and what HBCU you will be at in the fall.
Okay, my name is Mackenzie Thornton. I'm from Prince George's County, Maryland, and in the fall, I will represent Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University.
Oh, another Rattler's taking over this competition, I see. I mean, it's been like 4 now. You know my rule.
Mm-hmm.
You all have to link up, because together you all can, tackle that freshman year together. That's right. All right. So I'm just gonna hold you to that part. So welcome all the way from, you said Prince George?
Yes, from Maryland.
Oh, wow, it's pretty there.
It's okay.
Man, I need to swap. I need to come up there. Texas. No. All right. Let me focus. What are you going to major in?
I'm going to be a business major, specifically focusing on marketing, and then I'm going to be a communications minor.
Oh, wow. So you're doing two out the bat.
Yeah, because in high school, I did a dual enrollment program. So I got my associate's degree in hospitality service management. And so I just wanted to challenge myself a little bit more. So we'll see how that goes.
Awesome. Okay. Well, hey, that sounds good to me. Now, in preparing for this competition, which, is like it started out with 69, now we're down to 50. But I think we're going to stay at 50 to about the 23rd. So at the start of this competition, you all had to write an essay. Do you remember the topic a little bit?
It was talking about HBCUs and DIs and how HBCUs will guide our path in our journey.
Okay. So what's your stance on that? What position do you stand on that topic?
So I more so in my essay talked about the importance of HBCUs in my perspective. Basically, I want to be in an environment where I feel accepted and I'm able to connect with people just like me. I also made sure to include a lot of celebrities like Oprah or Kamala Harris, people who have shown and been an example to African Americans and the African American culture, and just showing how successful we can be and the impact that HBCUs have on our education.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, see, you done nailed the communication part. So I can't wait to follow you through this college process. So before you go, because I mean this is just to let us know who you are. Now you come back, that essay seemed like that's gonna be real good. I can't wait to hear it. Before you go, tell us where you are going, where you from, and your name. Because like I said, the Rattlers taking over this. I don't know what's going on, but everybody going to FAMU this year. All right.
Okay, so I'm Mackenzie Thornton. I'm from Prince George's County, Maryland, and in the fall, I will represent Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University.
HBCUs with the HBCU Trivia Game. This board game provides an exciting and educational way to learn about notable alumni, historical events, sports news, and more. This trivia game is sure to be a hit and perfect for college-bound youth, alumni, and the entire family. Don't miss out on this opportunity to support, educate, and entertain Get the HBCU Trivia Game today. Go to hbcutriviagame.net to order.
Welcome back. Now, look, I told you I have a lot of friends today, and they're from all over the place. So right now, I'm being joined with another one of our top 50. So tell us who you are, where you're from, and what school you will be going to in the fall.
Okay, my name is Hannah Paget. I'm from Tallahassee, Alabama, and I will be attending Fort Valley State University in the fall. Go Wildcats!
Okay, Fort Valley. That's kind of cool. So you gonna leave Alabama like that?
I am.
Go to Georgia?
I am.
You're like, I'm ready. You gonna miss home a little bit? Not
maybe,
really.
Maybe a little bit.
Okay. Well, what are you gonna be majoring there?
I'll be majoring in biology, but I'll be on the pre-med track. So.
Wow. What's your ultimate goal?
The ultimate goal is to practice dermatology.
Oh, you like skincare?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, that's good. That's good. That's good. Hey, I might have to look you up, because it get hot down here in Texas, and them be having,
Yes, ma'am.
Now, in doing this competition, everybody had to do an essay. Do you remember the topic for the essay?
It was about upholding the legacy of HBCUs and DEI.
Okay. Now, what's your stance on that? You're not gonna read your essay today, but I know you're gonna make it to the next round, so we're gonna hear this essay. So, what was your stance on that?
So for me, in my essay, I kind of wrote about more about the upholding the legacy part. So for me, okay. I feel like with HBCUs, it's where our ancestors came and they made a safe place for us as Black people to strive as a community. And then go out into the world and strive even more. So for me, something I'm very passionate about is like bridging the gap and like access to healthcare, especially in like Black communities, because that's where it's very prominent at. Um, so for me, I kind of wrote about the correlation with the legacy of our ancestors creating that safe space and coming into present day with where people and myself are trying to help create a space where um, healthcare is accessible for everyone who needs it.
Oh wow. Well, that is going to be good. Now you see why I can't judge. Like you writing stuff like that, and then I got other people, and you all are absolutely amazing. And thank you for coming on and sharing that with us today. And I wish you so much. Oh, anytime. I wish you so much luck in the competition. But before we go, tell us one more time who you are, where you're from, and what school you will be going to in the fall.
My name is Hannah Paget. I'm from Tallahassee, Alabama, and I will be attending Fort Valley State University in the fall.
Awesome, awesome. Congratulations. And hey, you can stick around if you want, but I got to go to the next person. It's a lot of y'all today. All right. Have a good one.
You too.
Welcome, welcome. How are you?
Hi, I didn't know it put me on there. Sorry.
You okay?
Hey, I'm good. How about you?
I can't complain. I told you it's a lot of y'all backstage. I'm just pushing buttons. But anyway, I'm looking for an intern. Nobody's majoring in this type of stuff. So I could use an engineer to like run the backstage for me. But that's another let's focus. I'm gonna focus. So tell us who you are, where you're from, and what school you're going to in the fall.
Okay. My name is Promise Smith. I'm from Alexander City, Alabama. I will be attending the Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University in the fall. So
again, no, I'm just playing. It's so many people now. You know my rule.
It's number one for a reason, though.
You know my rule. All you all are going to FAMU. Y'all better link up. Y'all are going in together. Y'all got to come out together. Got it? In the door, out by 4. That's the rule. All right. So what are you majoring in?
I will be majoring in health science to become like a healthcare administrator.
Ooh. What is there like a specific like area of health?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Well, hey, that's fair. Are you gonna do any extracurricular activities? Because you look like an athlete. I might just be assuming.
I used to cheer, but
no,
I'm not doing it no more.
No stump and shake, nothing. You like?
Oh, we wasn't stump and shake yet.
You like? No, we wasn't stump and shake. Okay. Oh, you was traditional cheer, like okay. I got tired just thinking about it, so yeah, that's not gonna work. Nope. But anyway, while preparing for this competition, you all had an essay that you had to write.
Yes, ma'am.
With a very unique topic that everybody has their own spin to it. Now, what is your stance? Do you remember the topic first?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Well, what's your stance on that?
I just feel like going to use me as a real life example. I just feel like I feel like HBCU, going to school at an HBCU would make me feel comfortable from where I come from. It wasn't like, the support from our kind from where I'm from. So I feel like going to HBCU, I just feel like that would feel more comfortable for me, more like home. I would feel secured there. As well as I want to like major in healthcare, like in the healthcare field. So I feel like when I come back like home, I would like to come back and help with the community because it's like our kind down here. They're not well aware of like the resources or the sources in the healthcare for them. So I would like to, go out to HBCU and, and plus, I would be the first out of my family to graduate from a HBCU.
Oh wow! So you're gonna be first gen graduate from HBCU, or just first going to HBCU period?
First graduating.
Oh wow! What?
HBCU
Well,
for
I just
HBCU though.
okay. And so you decided to go to FAM?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. No judgment. I love all HBCUs. I love mine more, but I love them. So that's wonderful. So before we go, or before I let you go, because I'm gonna be here a while.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell us one more time who you are, where you from, and what HBCU you will be at this fall.
My name is Promise Smith. I'm from Alexandria City, Alabama. I will be attending the Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University. Go Rattlers.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for stopping by. Now, you know the rule, link up with your folks.
Yes, ma'am.
I want you all to go through this first year together. We in the door, out by
4.
All right. Have a good day. Thank you for coming.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How about yourself?
I can't complain. I'm in the air, even though it's like 100 degrees outside. I'm cool. I am loving it today. So welcome. Now tell the audience who you are, where you're from, and what school you will be attending this fall.
Hi, my name is Kamara Christian, aka a hungry and determined scholar. I am from Los Angeles, California, and I will be going to Tuskegee in the fall. Go Golden Tigers!
Oh, you go ball and parlay. I'm coming to visit you, homecoming. I'm not. It's a family show. I'm not. I promise I'm not. We talk about it offline. But so what are you gonna do at Tuskegee?
So at Tuskegee, what really drove me there was their 3+3 program, in which they have partnerships with different law schools all across the country. And so one of the ones that really caught my eye was Pepperdine. Given that I live in Los Angeles, Malibu is something that I really did kind of want to go to law school. So being able to get that HBCU experience, but then be able to come back home for law school was amazing, especially given that they do kind of cover some of the financials when it does come to law school. So imagine you're going, getting your HBCU experience, and then you can go to law school with less financial debt. I mean, it sounds like a dream come true.
That's good. But you in LA, you gonna go all the way to Alabama?
Yeah. You know, I went down to Alabama. I went down to Tuskegee, and they had a Cali club, and I got to meet different people there, and it just felt like a home away from home.
That's good. So you felt the support before you got there.
I did.
Love it. Love it. Now, just like I told the other ones, it's a couple Tuskegee classmates of yours, or future classmates, that's in this competition. You know,
I would love to meet.
You know my rule. You all got to link up. It's easier to go through this transition in life together than alone. So, hey, make it work. Now, in preparation for this contest, everybody had to do an essay. And do you remember the topic?
Yes, the topic revolved around legacy of HBCUs and the power of DEI, but more specifically, what it had to do with us personally and how we achieve that mission.
Okay. Now, my question for you is, what's your stance on that?
My stance is, like, when I went into the essay competition, was originally thinking, how should I go about this? How should I write this? How should I answer this question? And I did have to put my own spin on it by adding, of course, my own personal background, right? I had to talk about how historically colleges built up my family. I am actually a third gen who went to college, but the very first generation, they didn't really have easy access to education, and Central State was there. My grandmother went to Central State, got her education, being one of the first ones to open that door. My father followed in her footsteps, and he went to Central State as well. Then opening, of course, another door for me to be able to access my education and hold up that legacy, in which now I would also be going to HBCU. So, of course, that answer there is sprinkled into that, that power and that change, but also focusing on the DEI portion, looking at some of the politics and the history. We were denied education. We were pushing to strive, and yet every time we do, our history was getting rewritten or they denied us access. And even fun fact, while I was doing my research, I'm a political science major, right? Moving into the law field. And I was looking, and even the bar to actually become a practicing attorney was only in place just due to them trying to slowly remove us out of that circle, out of that branch to get our education. So when it came to writing that speech, I just wanted to put my heart in there, but also the research and the knowledge of answering the question.
Awesome. Now, I can't wait to read yours. Now, I might give you. Now, you said Central State and it's only one Central State, but and I hope that's not the one you said your family is. I won't. You talking about the 42 Central State?
Yes, ma'am. I'm actually originally from Ohio.
Okay, well, we're gonna disqualify you because just playing. I'm just playing. I graduated from Wilberforce. I had to pick with you. I'm on the safer side of 42. No. Well, I love that. What part of Ohio are you originally from?
I'm originally from Cleveland, Ohio, like a suburb within Cleveland, Ohio. My mom she grew up in Maple. I grew up in Garfield Heights, and then we made the move out here maybe 10-ish years ago. So, yeah.
That's a little ways away. Well, thank you for coming by and telling us. And I was just playing about the Central guys. We are not gonna hold her for that. Not gonna do that. She did a wonderful job. I gotta tell people that because they get on my case for playing too much. So thank you for coming. And before we go, again, tell us who you are, where you're from, and what school you will be at this fall.
Hi, my name is Kamara Christian. I'm from Los Angeles, California, and I will be going to the one and only TU, Tuskegee University.
Awesome. Again, thank you. I wish you much success. Keep my fingers crossed because I want you to make it to that top 5 because you just brought, the information about the DEI. I want to know, what else you can talk about. So thank you for coming, and till next time.
Thank you so much for having me. Bye.
Bye.
Island unto themselves. For the greatest individuals of our time forged their own paths. But UNCF knows that the opposite is true. Because when you start to peel away the surface, beyond the borders of the history books, there lies a richness of people before, beside, and ahead. Brothers and sisters, partners and peers, mentors who help pave the way. And so, for the next generation, bright, brimming, and beautiful, we will surround them the most to surpass the wildest imaginations of our founders, to move mountains, minds, and hearts, to solve the world's biggest and smallest problems, to soar higher than regulations permit, and pave the way onwards and upwards. Because the truth is, no person is an island, and thank God for that. It's the present that connects the past to the future. Since 1944, UNCF has raised over $6 billion and helped more than 500,000 students thrive. UNCF has helped historically black colleges and universities produce 80% of black judges, 50% of black doctors, and 40% of all black engineers. So together, join UNCF and our 37 HBCU members as we honor the legacy, transform our future, and walk as one. Visit uncf.org and give today.
Welcome back. So welcome. Look, I told you all I have so many friends today that, So welcome to A Better Chance Television. Welcome to the competition where we are meeting. You guys are so amazing. We're meeting all our scholars. So for the next couple weeks on the show, all we're doing is getting to know the people in the contest. So tell us who you are, where you're from, and what school you're going to go to in the fall.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. It's such a blessing. My gratitude goes beyond words, really. My name is Samaria Bass. I'm from Northern Virginia, Loudoun County more specifically. And in the fall, I will be attending the illustrious Clark Atlanta University.
Okay, CIU. Oh, I'm sorry. I know everybody's chant, Sorry. So that's awesome. What are you gonna Got a major in there.
So I'll be majoring in elementary education for a final goal of becoming a teacher, or I kind of want to be a principal and administrator in elementary school.
Awesome sauce. Let's see, guys, I'm be biased. That's my field.
Oh yes, that's awesome.
Well, why do you want to be a teacher though?
I know there's a little bit of controversy around being a teacher. Ever since I was young, I think I've always admired teachers. I think it goes back to me being in school and seeing how I had certain teachers that, cared about me a little bit more, like made sure that I was okay. Being that I was a young Black girl, like that to me is what I want to be for other kids in the newer generation. So yeah, it really inspired me, and I just love working with kids. I love knowing that I could probably be making an impact on a young child's life, and yeah, I think that's really important.
Awesome. I think that's wonderful.
Yeah.
And it's strictly a passion filled, thing. I usually call it a ministry. I started in the classroom. Haven't been in the classroom in about 7-8 years. I'm admin. So yes, I run this, but I still, have a full-time job because I need, most of the people I deal with, they in school anyway. So I might as well work. This ain't. So, but why Tuskegee though? I mean, that's not the school you said. You said Clark Atlanta. I'm sorry. Why Clark Atlanta?
You good. So Clark Atlanta. Honestly, when I first got to the school, I noticed immediately the energy, the welcoming. It was just everything was just welcoming. I felt very welcomed. I felt like I fit in. And the more I got to learn about the school, the clubs, especially their school program, I fell in love with it. And I just felt like it was the perfect fit for me. And ever since then, I've been falling more in love with the school.
I know. I see you got the school colors on.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm repping my shirt today.
Okay, then. Look, she ready, y'all. She got.
I'm so ready. Yes.
But when's move-in day? I know you probably got it marked on the calendar.
Oh, I do. Move-in day is August 15th. Yep.
You ready?
And my presentation is next Tuesday, so that's gonna be fun. Yeah.
Yay! I'm excited for you. Like, if you send us pictures. Send us pictures. We always post it on like our web pages because we get just as excited as you all because it's a good thing,
Thank you so much. I will send pictures.
Awesome. Now, in preparation for this competition, everybody had to do an essay. Like that was like, and the topic is so amazing and it applies to everyone. So do you remember the topic first?
I do remember that topic.
Okay, now what's your stance?
The topic, okay, so being that the topic was based around the legacy of HBCUs, the impact, and better yet, the resilience of HBCUs, and also the impact of DEI, my stance was more of a personal stance. In the beginning of my essay, I kind of talked about how, HBCUs are important. They are made for us, by us. And if you go to HBCU, all of your needs will be met because it is somebody who has been in the same position as you, someone who knows what you're struggling with. So that is a very important aspect of HBCUs. And I honestly think it's very important. And that's honestly what led me to go to HBCU. I took my personal stance was more of a reflection. It kind of made me go back and think, like when I was in school, this is, I grew up around in a very predominantly white area. The county that I live in, honestly, Northern Virginia in general, is just a very white and not really, inclusive. I don't want to say inclusive, but there's more, white people than there is Black people. So I've always gone to school with a lot of white people and people that didn't really look like me. And I kind of always felt like the odd one out. That's what I talked about a lot in my essay and how I will use my HBCU experience and use the knowledge I learned to be an inclusive teacher from Clark Atlanta to take that with me in my path in life.
Awesome. Yeah, it always amazes me, like people who are not in as diverse areas as others. It's like, how did you find an HBCU if it probably wasn't even offered to you by your guidance counselor?
I will say that at first I never wanted to go to HBCU. I always was. It was PWI everything. But as I gotten older, I had started doing a little bit more research. And actually, my aunt graduated from Howard, so that's another thing that kind of let me go into it. And also being a first generation college student, I kind of want to set the bar kind of high for my younger brother and my younger sister. So I would love for them to follow in my footsteps and go to HBCU.
Yeah, they gonna miss you because once you step foot on campus, you're not coming home that much.
Oh, I was like, tell them.
You're like, oh no. Okay, we on air, but I can read the body language.
We know. Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming. Now, before you go, tell us who you are, where you from, and what school you will go to in the fall, just in case alumni are watching. Sometimes they drop links and sometimes they vote. So,
Okay.
You might need them votes from the alum. All right, tell us.
Okay, so my name again is Samaria Bass. I'm from Northern Virginia, more specifically Loudoun County, and I will be attending Clark Atlanta University in the fall. Shout out to the AUC.
Oh, Lord. She done started now. Last year's competition, our final 5, we had 2 of them. Well, actually, 3 out of the 5 was from the op. So, you might have to keep the legend going. But thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. I can't wait to hear this lesson. Anytime.
For having me. It was amazing. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh my God, these young people are simply amazing today. Now, I have a couple of them still in the back, and we just narrowing them down, guys. Now, they don't know what order they're coming in. So if they come in and they like a little shock, it's kind of like my fault because, I'm trying to be as fair as possible, but just pushing buttons at the same time. So again, I did say it after our last person, but if you follow our pages, you actually can vote for one of these amazing scholars. Voting does cost $1, but ABC, we're not making money off of this because guess who gets it? It goes exactly to the kids. So let's move on to our next person. Welcome. How are you?
Hi, I'm well. How are you?
I can't complain. I don't know why it seemed like you've been on here before. Was you here before?
No, ma'am. This is my first time. I joined a little earlier, but this is my first time.
Okay. I'm like, look, I'm telling them it's 1,000 of y'all in the back. All I keep seeing is the thing going. I know. I'm so unscripted. Anyway, welcome and thank you for coming. And tell us who you are, where you're from, and what school you are going to in the fall.
Okay, my name is Bailey Cager, and I am from Dallas, Texas, and I will be attending the Prairie View A&M University.
Okay, I'm about to give her a test. She said she's going to PV, so let me see if she knows.
Hello.
Let me see if she knows a little something. So if I say PV, what you supposed to say?
You know.
Okay, yeah, she ready, y'all. She ready. She call. I had to test her. That's in our backyard. And one of my favorite people that actually, the band announcer, TT on the mic, she is a friend of the show. And TT on the mic, take care of our friend now.
Yes,
you got
please.
one coming to you. So what are you going to major in at Prairie View?
I will be majoring in political science and with a minor in English. Yes, ma'am, on the pre-law track.
Okay, then. You going to be an attorney or a judge? Which one?
I want to be an attorney, an education attorney.
Oh. Wow. Oh, see, you're a smart girl. I thought about going back to school. I don't know. That's weird, ain't it? I thought about going back to school. You like, this woman got her doctorate. She still won't go to school.
No, it's never too late.
I did. I was like, let me go back and get that. I missed one. Anyway, not about me. It's about these kids today. So you want to be an educational attorney.
Yes, ma'am.
And you're going to get that at PV.
Yes, ma'am. I'll get my bachelor's in PV, and then I plan to go to the Thurgood Marshall School of Law at Texas Southern to get my law degree. Yes, ma'am. And then hopefully I plan to, once I pass the bar, I plan to practice either in the DFW area or in the Houston area.
Look at it. See, that's what I'm talking about. These young people are leaving like no crumbs for this competition. Like all of them they playing, and y'all look at me like, why can't I judge? This is why I can't judge. This is right here. So in doing this, now she's gonna nail this. Like she's about to, major in law. So this might give her a little practice here. In preparation for this contest, everybody had to do an essay. Remember?
Yes, ma'am.
You remember the topic, or was you going to court on the topic?
No, I remember being about DI and my inspirations about it. And
Okay, so what's
really,
your views on it? What's
yeah,
your views?
I'm pretty familiar still with it. I think really I just leaned into my inspiration. I chose Dr. King and how he was a great inspiration for me, and how he trailblazed for a lot of innovators, leaders, and believers that really once you put your mind to something, you can do anything. And I think that HBCUs give you that confidence, they elevate your confidence, and that when you know who you are and where you come from, you can be confident in any space. And HBCUs produce that, they believe it, and they make all the students believe that. And I really feel like I need that, and I can thrive in an environment like that.
Okay, then you go into PV, so you gonna learn that thing. Prairie View produces what?
Productive people.
Yeah, she know it. She who graduated from PV? Somebody in your house must have graduated from there.
No, I don't have any PV graduates. My mom went to Clark Atlanta though.
See, how she feel about you not choosing her school? She okay
Yes,
with
ma'am.
it? Okay. Because I know sometimes,
She was a little salty at first, but I mean, she came around.
Okay. Well, I mean, at least you close to home.
She came around.
Because you close to home?
True, yes. I mean, yeah, it's only about a 3.5 hour drive. It's not too bad.
See, we look at it, we can say it that way.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, that's how we can say it. Well, before you go, and thank you so much for coming, tell us again who you are, where you're from, and what school you will attend in the fall.
Okay. I am Bailey Cager. I am from Dallas, Texas, and I will be attending the Prairie View A&M University.
Awesome. So Bailey's going to PV. I might see her on campus because sometimes I do.
Yes.
Pop-ups. So thank you for coming.
Yes, I'll be going down tomorrow for orientation. Thank you.
And I'm going to call Titi on the mic today and tell her we got one coming.
Yes, please do. Thank you so much for having me.
Anytime.
Has stood as a bright beacon of hope and opportunity, transforming the lives of countless students. From the first donation made in 1944 to the millions of dollars in educational assistance provided today, UNCF has been a pivotal force in breaking down barriers to higher education across the United States. Our alumni span the globe, a testament to the power of your support. As we celebrate this 80-year milestone, our mission is as urgent as it has ever been. A college degree still remains out of reach for far too many. But with your help, UNCF can continue to break down barriers. Today and for 80 years, UNCF has been honoring the legacy, transforming our future. Your support isn't just a donation, it's an investment in a brighter, more equitable future for us all. And remember, a mind is a terrible thing to waste, but a wonderful thing to invest in. Learn more, uncf.org/80th.
Welcome back. Now, look, I have a school friend, and we've just been acting silly all day. But on a serious note, these are some of the most amazing, intelligent, young Black scholars that I have met. Oh my God. And guess what? I don't get to vote and I don't get to decide, but I do get to encourage and cheer them on to victory. Now, if you haven't voted, pick somebody, even if you don't know anybody, just pick somebody that has impressed you the most. Or if you're an HBCU alum, root for your school. That's another reason why I can't vote. Nobody in the competition is going to Wilberforce, so works for me. Now, tell us, first off, welcome and thank you for coming.
Thank you so much for having me.
And tell us who you are, what school you're going to, and where you are from.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kaylee Thomas. I am from Middletown, Delaware. And I will be attending the illustrious Howard University. Go Bison!
Oh, here we go. So if somebody came up to you and said, I go to the real HU, what's going to be your response? I'm just playing. I was being messy,
not to be messy or nothing, y'all were Hampton Institute, but it's okay. I'm not going to be messy. Y'all were Hampton Institute. The real HU is over here, but it's okay. It's okay.
See? Okay.
I don't judge. I don't judge. Don't judge.
we're family at the end of the day, but I just couldn't resist. It was just, when you said the illustrious, I just had to, because we do have some Hampton alum that watch. So just saying. But anyway, what will you be doing at Howard?
So I will be a biology major with a minor in chemistry.
Wow.
I'm a science girl, but I love people too. So one way or another, I have to weigh in the two, but I love science. So yeah.
So chemistry, what are you gonna dabble in with
that? I aspire to become a genetic engineer.
Oh.
With a focus in genetic mutations. Yeah.
Interesting. Now, what made you come up with that? That's very interesting.
So, since I was little, I was always a science girl. My mom, she's also a Howard alum, but she's also a science girl. Works in a pharmaceutical company. But I was diagnosed with a rare disease called juvenile myoclonic epilepsy at the age of, I believe, 15. So since then, doing my own research about my own body and about how other bodies work and how we function and why our bodies do certain things, I thought to myself, well, this is really cool. Like I said, this is really cool. I don't want to self-experiment on myself, but just doing research and reading up on case studies, I found a love for science, genetics, and most of all chemistry. Tying it all the way back down to why our body works the way that it does. So why I choose genetic engineering, I would love to be able to look at different organisms, but also look at genetic mutations within people and genetic mutations within just organisms, animals, people, just to know why our body does what it does.
Wow. That's really interesting. Thank you for sharing that. I know that we probably, that wasn't on y'all, script is to talk about, but when it's interesting and I think it's a teachable moment, by all means. Thank you for sharing that. Now, in preparation for the contest, we had to do an essay. Do you remember the topic?
Yeah. The legacy of HBCUs and the power of DEI.
So what's your stance on it? You're not gonna read your essay, but I guarantee you're gonna make it to the next round to read that essay to us.
So for me, with part of the essay, reading the entire essay question, a part that has stood out to me, I had wrote that part, like the question down to repeat back to you. It was, in what ways do I plan on contributing to the ongoing mission of HBCUs by promoting DEI, uplifting my peers, and driving positive change in my community? So as someone, of course, living with epilepsy, and I came from a school that was mainly a PWI up until about after COVID, it just skyrocketed in diversity within the kids. And I kind of just felt as though while we were growing within the population of the children, our staff was lacking in that. We were lacking in the diversity within the staff, and it reflected negatively on the students. It was always that, oh, well, this kid has this behavioral issue, this kid does this is that, rather than sitting down and talking to that kid and understanding why that they feel that the way that they feel. And sad to say, it was students that looked like me that were always the ones that were the troubled kids, or the kids that always had the problems, or the kids that always had the issues, when in reality, you just want someone to ask you, well, are you okay? What is going on? What is wrong with what's going on with you? Why are you acting this way? And I felt as though my school struggled with putting those people in position, putting those people in place to be able to ask those questions for those students to feel comfortable. And so when I thought about that question, I was like, So as a senior in high school, we have a senior capstone project. And I thought to myself, well, what can I do to truly make an impact on my school to make a difference? So this was around fall. I thought to myself, well, how can I make a difference? And I was speaking with the teacher and my guidance counselor, and my guidance counselor would speak to me about colleges and speak to me about what I could really do. And I thought to myself, I don't think enough students at this school that look like me know about HBCUs. So I worked up and established this HBCU awareness event where I was able to educate underclassmen on the power of HBCUs, why they matter, how they started, who they were made for, and the fact that just because you came from somewhere or you came from a different background doesn't mean that your possibilities are limited. Your possibilities are endless. So through that program, I created a presentation and I delivered it in 2 days. And I was able to educate the students and get some feedback and answer some of their questions on what HBCUs are and broke down the history behind it. And I made it known that HBCUs were created during a time that we were thought of less than human, not even college material, let alone be able to graduate and have all these different degrees. So I wanted to make known that thinking or thinking the mindset of that you're not able to do this because you look a certain way, you talk a certain way, and you're from a certain background, certain neighborhood, that's not true. You're able to do anything that you put your mind to. And I wanted the students to know that HBCUs, that's a tool in your back pocket, that the network, the community, the all the different events, everything is just, the possibilities are endless. That there's people that are rooting for you and that are for you. And that HBCUs were made for people to look like us and to uplift us and support us.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I am definitely intrigued to see this essay and hear it the next time you come on, because I already know you're going to make it to the next round, at least the essay round. But then again, you could be the final 10 too. Who knows?
Yeah.
I'm rooting for everybody.
Rooting for everybody black, you said right.
For everybody in this competition. So, hey. And I think that was a wonderful stance that you did. And thank you for your advocacy. That's really needed in that environment, to feel inclusive and to feel like you're a part. So very good. I love the capstone. I might have to reach out to you to learn more about it so we can implement it in other places. Now, before you go, tell us who you are, where you from, and what school you will be attending this fall.
My name is Kaylee Thomas. I am from Middletown, Delaware, and I will be attending Howard University. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you for coming, and good luck. I'm keeping my fingers crossed for you.
Thank you so much. This has really been an honor. Thank you.
Awesome. Oh my God, guys, do you hear these amazing majors? So moving right along, let's bring on our next guest. Welcome. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm fine. Thank you for asking. How are you?
I can't complain. It's hot in Texas, but guess what? I'm in the air, so I'm chilling today. Now, tell me who you are, where you're from, and what school you will be going to in the fall.
Hi, my name is Mia Jones. I will be majoring in political science on a pre-law track at the illustrious Spelman College.
Oh, God, here we go. Last year, we had half the competition going to Spelman. So that means my Spelman ladies, if you was in this competition last year, you already know. My rule is look out for your family. We're family. So what will you be majoring in at Spelman?
Political science on a pre-law track.
Ooh, so lawyer, judge, which one?
Lawyer.
Ooh, any type of like specific area?
I want to start off as a defense attorney, and then I don't really want to be a prosecutor, but I want to still be knowledgeable in that area of law. But I ultimately want to become a contract lawyer, like how like the lawyers in suits, kind of like that.
Okay, then. I'll be a lawyer in a suit. I'm ready. I'm built for this. Okay, then. Now, in preparation for the contest, everybody had to do an essay. And, I tried to keep the topics relevant to what's going on in the news today so that you all can draw from either personal experiences or something you may have seen. Now, what's your stance on that? You remember the topic, though, right?
Yes, it was about like HBCUs and DEI, but I mostly took the approach on the legacy of HBCUs and why it was important to me. My essay was mostly about like how HBCUs are more than just institutions of higher learning. It's about continuing a legacy that our ancestors who fought so hard for us to get to that point. I also mentioned how I'm the first person in my family to be attending an HBCU, so thankfully I'll be starting my own legacy, and how HBCUs are just a melting pot of different kinds of Black people. Like everyone is Black in their own aspect, of course, but we are layered. It's like an onion almost. We're a group of people who have so much influence and so much power and knowledge. And HBCU really could curate me as a person, me giving that I want to become a lawyer. And my background in like civic engagement and me getting my peers together, I started my own youth forum because in Newark, New Jersey, 16 and 17-year-olds were able to vote in school board elections. So I feel like I could take that my power and my passion and ambition for civic engagement and just take that and run with it out of HBCU.
Oh, wow. Well, that is impressive. And congratulations on taking that stance. And you go, girl. You like, I'm already practicing law in her own way. You better document your experience. Now, before you go, because I'll be here, and I love it because I'm learning so many valuable things about these, young, gifted, and black. I love it.
Yes.
But tell us who you are, where you're from, and what school you will be attending in the fall.
Hi, everyone. I am Mia Jones from Newark, New Jersey, and I will be attending the Spelman College in the fall, majoring in political science on a pre-law track. Go Jaguars!
Awesome. Awesome. And thank you for coming and sharing. I can't wait to
Thank you
read
so
your
much for
essay.
having me.
Anytime. And I keep my fingers crossed that you make it to the end.
Yes, thank you.
So y'all, you like what she said, you better vote for her. Tell your Spelman Knights. Have a good one, sweetheart.
You too.
Welcome. How are you?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
I can't complain, and if I do, who's really gonna listen? I'm just playing. So welcome to A Better Chance Television, and congratulations on
Thank
being
you.
top 50 for Takesha A. Davis Scholarship Award. This is a long process. Not just playing. It's not that long, but it's a long process, but it's worth it. You get to meet people. Sometimes, it might be some of your classmates, and then it also helps you along the way. So, tell us who you are, where you're from, and what school you plan to attend in the fall.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kennedy Thompson. I am from Chester, Virginia, but I usually say I'm from Richmond, Virginia, and I will be going to the Howard University to major in sociology on a pre-law track.
Wow. So I'm noticing a trend here. Either it's Howard or it's FAMU this year. Did y'all all get together and plan this?
No.
You're like, I don't know them yet. So, well, thank you for sharing that. Now, pre-law, which one? Attorney, judge?
My main goal is to be a civil rights attorney, but I'm honestly open to being a judge or even being on the Supreme Court if I'm granted with the opportunity.
Oh, wow. You said a civil rights attorney.
Yes.
Why that?
Well, growing up, I switched between careers a lot. I wanted to be a surgeon at first, a teacher, but then something about law always spoke to me. Um, and then in 2020, seeing the events of George Floyd, that really changed my perspective, and it really showed me that I don't like what's going on, and it doesn't seem like the people who we have in the justice system are willing to fight for Black people and Black lives and the rights of Black people, and that genuinely bothered me. So that really influenced me to pursue a career in law and to fight for the rights of minorities and marginalized communities. And it also, my love for writing and my experiences with growing up in a majority white area and attending a PWI in school definitely shaped that also.
Oh, wow. Well, that's going to be pretty good. Now, in preparation for the contest,
Mhm.
everybody had to do an essay. You remember the topic a little bit?
Yes, I did.
Okay, what's your stance?
So for my essay, I kind of talked about how DEI is incorporated in HBCUs and also my experience with being in a why I chose a HBCU and like how my experience growing up affected that. And I feel that as I also work at Target, which has been affected by DEI, and I've been able to see that in real time. And so that's also helped me
with this essay because I feel that that just shows that it's important that we make safe spaces for everyone because nobody's the same, everyone's different, but just because you're different from someone else, you have a different sexual orientation or disability doesn't mean you're not capable of doing a task. And I think it's important that we make safe spaces for everyone and we allow everybody to have equal opportunities. And then I also think that it's important to attend HBCUs, and I've had the opportunity to speak with some of my peers, and even though we're all black, there's so many differences, but I admire them because we come from different walks of life. Some of my peers have went to all black schools, or they went to art schools or technical schools or PWIs just like me. And I feel that me attending a HBCU will help me thrive in my career, but I also want to mentor and possibly open my own law firm. And I think that's going to just better help me understand people and make sure that when I have my own businesses that I promote diversity, that I encourage that, and that I have safe spaces for everyone.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for sharing.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Awesome. Now, before you go, because like I said, we got like 65 of y'all, and we narrowed down to 50. At least it's not like last year. Last year we had 190 something. It was rough. I was on there every day, but it's worth it because people need to know your story, one, and people need to know that Black excellence among our young people do exist. So I'm extremely proud of everybody, and thank you for coming on. But before you go, tell us who you are, where you're from, and what school you will be attending this fall.
My name is Kennedy Thompson. I am from Richmond, Virginia, and I will be attending the Howard University. Go Bisons!
Look no further. The Daily Gospel Network has what you need. With more than 300 ministries from all over the country broadcasting every week, you're sure to get your dose of spirit-filled encouragement from the great programs on the Daily Gospel Network. Catch the Daily Gospel Network on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, all mobile devices, and the internet.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Now, we have talked to some of the most amazing scholars. Now, I'm joined with a brand new face. I know we've been changing them out so quick today, but thank you for joining us. Now, tell the audience your name, where you're from, and what school you plan to attend this fall.
Good evening to everyone watching. My name is Alicia Kadiri. I'm from Dallas, Texas, and I'm attending Hampton University in Virginia this fall.
Awesome. Hampton by the Sea. It's pretty there.
My dorm looks over the lake, so.
Oh, that's so cool. Now, I might be scared of that, though. Like,
I'm not, well, okay, my thing is that I can't swim, so you won't see me swimming out there, but I mean, the water's nice. So, just like.
You better learn how to swim. You about to be around that water, girl.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, what's going to be your major?
I'll be majoring in biochemistry on a pre-med track, and I'll be minoring in Spanish.
Whoa. Now that's odd. How did you come up with that major?
So the biochemistry specifically is because I've always had an interest in being in the medical field, and I feel like getting a biochemistry degree is one of the best ways to do it because it's a really versatile degree versus just majoring in biology or in chemistry separately. And then in terms of the Spanish, I've taken Spanish since I was in second grade as a class. So that would technically be about like 11 years of Spanish class total. And I've been able to really improve and hone my fluency through that. I've been able to use it during service. When I volunteer with our local philanthropies, such as the Baby Beauties Diaper Bank or the Community Garden Kitchen, many of our community members who come in to receive aid don't speak English, but they do speak Spanish. So I help facilitate translation through that.
Awesome. You better document that, girl. That's experience.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's all in my resume and everything. So.
Wow. That's amazing. And thank you for your community service that you're doing, impacting your neighborhood. And then even going a further step to try to meet people where they are. I love it. Thank you for sharing that with me. Now, in preparation for the contest, you have to do an essay. Now, you're not going to read your essay this time, but when you come back, because I know you're going to make it to the next round, you're going to have to read that essay. So,
yes, ma'am.
What was your stance on that? You remember the topic, though, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what was your stance?
So my stance on the prompt given was specifically about the fact that HBCUs have the ability to basically improve the status of education of many African Americans, specifically because of something that's called the HBCU medical school effect, which is coined by Tanea Searles, who's an article writer. They literally have the ability to help propel Black people as doctors in the medical field. 92% of all Black doctors in the medical field have graduated from an HBCU, and most of those come from institutions such as Howard and Xavier. And as someone who wants to go to medical school and become a doctor, I feel like attending an HBCU, given the stats, is one of the best ways to do that. So I still stand by what I wrote in my essay. And I honestly think that given the fact that HBCUs, unlike PWIs, actually care about where the students are, meeting them where they're at, and then also trying to ensure that everyone makes it across the finish line no matter what, no matter where you were, no matter where you come from. I think that's literally like the best thing because, frankly, given the fact that many African Americans come from a very underprivileged, marginalized upbringing, but by way of either racism, poverty, etc., the fact that it gives them the ability to pursue their education and to help lift themselves up, I think that's why HBCUs are the best way to get to medical school for people like us.
Wow. Thank you for sharing that. That's really good. Now, you're going directly into medical school after you finish undergrad?
That's currently the plan now. The only thing that would probably defer me from that plan is if I were to get like an internship with a company specializing in medical technology, because I am interested in that as well. I Part of the reason why I want to go into the medical field to begin with is because of my youngest sibling and my maternal grandfather. Both of them, my youngest sibling, they received an enucleation of their right eye, and my maternal grandfather received an amputation of his leg. And so both of them utilize prostheses, specifically like the appearance ones. So they're not really functionable, but they give the appearance of still having the missing body part, right? But for me, I want to help improve all of that by helping in the field of bionic prostheses, specifically because bionic prostheses have the ability to improve and help their recipients gain function back to their daily lives. If my youngest sibling were to get a prosthetic eye right now, they'd be able to see out of their missing right eye because their optic nerve was still preserved when the surgery was done. So it's all about making sure that once the connections are right, the person can literally gain the ability that they lost from the surgical procedure. So in the same way, we make bionic prosthetics like arms or legs. My grandfather would be able to walk again on 2 feet versus being relegated to a wheelchair. So
That's amazing. I love that. And I definitely, I tell you all the time, just because, the competition is the competition, I'm still going to track and follow and make sure you all are finishing school. So
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I would love to know how that works. Now, are you looking at like internships or have you done internships?
So I have not done any internships. I've been given the opportunity, however, to attend. I'm not sure if you've heard of it before, but there's this coding camp called Code with Klossy, who basically it's an organization that primarily focuses on empowering girls ages 13 through 18 to basically dip their hands into the world of technology and further advancements through mostly computer science. I was given the opportunity last year to attend said camp, and I'm actually currently in attendance at the camp this year again. Last year we did mobile app development. This year we're talking about AI slash machine learning coding, and we're actually in the process of coding our capstone projects. And my group's capstone project is a chatbot which can help the user track their medications, as well as the user can ask about certain medications that they're on, side effects, and how to properly take it to ensure the best outcome. So that and through that process, I've been able to. That was also part of the reason why I actually got introduced to bionic prosthetics, because one of the girls from last year's camp, she actually told me about it, and I had a vague idea of it before, but she was basically saying that she explained the process of how it works to me, essentially, because for instance, like a bionic arm, most of the time they have to insert it to a bone and then connect the nerves versus just attaching it to the person's body, because otherwise the connections in the brain won't respond to what's here. So, and I didn't know that because I really just thought it was like a surgical attachment, not gonna lie, like the same way someone might get their hip or knee fixed, but obviously it's a completely different process. So yeah.
Oh, well, I'm excited for you, and I wish you much success. Again, guys, if you are interested, and I know several of you all have watched all of our wonderful scholars, if you are interested, please vote for the one that you feel needs to make it to that end, because they got to be top 10, at least, to go in for the final after the interview period and things like that. But hey, I'm rooting for every last one of them because they're doing amazing things. Now, before you go, tell us who you are, where you're from, and what school you will be at in the fall. And, hey, you say it right, they might vote for you.
Hello, good evening again. My name is Alicia Kadiri. I'm from Dallas, Texas, and I will be attending Hampton University in the fall as a member of the class of 2029. Thank you for the opportunity to be able to prove my worth in this competition, and I hope that I can receive your vote. Thank you for your time.
Awesome. And thank you for coming, and I appreciate you. And if there's anything I can do to help, because I'm just intrigued by your major. That is fascinating.
Thank you.
So thank you for stopping by.
Of course. Please have a good night.
You too. So, guys, we have some of the most, I'm not going to say some, all of the most amazing young people in this competition. If you have not voted and you need to vote, the link will definitely be in the bio, or follow all of our platforms on all social media pages and support these scholars. Now, if you're in the San Antonio area, we are gearing up for our annual HBCU Summer Send-Off and Community Celebration that will be held at the Carver Branch Library on the beautiful east side of San Antonio, Texas. It will be from 12 to 5 if you need to register. We are looking for vendors, supporters, HBCU alum, so we can show up for our young people because they are doing an amazing things. Now, it's been real, and we truly appreciate everyone in their support in this competition. And till next time, I wish everyone a good day and our contestants a good luck.
For inspiration, motivation, and the good news of Jesus Christ, look no further. The Daily Gospel Network has what you need. With more than 300 ministries from all over the country broadcasting every week, you're sure to get your dose of spirit-filled encouragement from the great programs on the Daily Gospel Network. Catch the Daily Gospel Network on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, all mobile devices, and the internet.
Tune in to A Better Chance for Youth television show with host Monique Robinson on the Daily Gospel Network, the television show dedicated to highlighting incredible students on their quest to change the world. Join us every week as we uplift the youth and help them on their journey to the bright future they deserve. Catch A Better Chance for Youth television show with host Monique Robinson on the Daily Gospel Network. Thanks for watching A Better Chance for Youth television show with your host, Monique Robinson. The television show where we highlight incredible students in their quest to change the world. Join us each and every week as we uplift our youth and help them on their journey to the bright future they deserve. So until next time, God bless. From your friends on A Better Chance for Youth television show with your host, Monique Robinson.